But destiny's path is rarely straightforward. During the Liberation War in Zimbabwe, Brother Tudor found himself stationed in Rutenga. It was here, amidst the backdrop of conflict and uncertainty, that he would continue his ministry. This time, not from a pulpit, but from the heart of the battlefield.
Well, in our community, the colored community and the Indian Asian community were forced to become part of the Rhodesian War with Ian Smith. Those that didn't couldn't get jobs firstly, and they went to prison. And so I was supposed to go to teachers college. I could not go without national service. My brothers couldn't get their apprenticeships without national service. Some that had families that could afford it sent their kids, snuck them out the country and sent them to the UK and to the States. Anyway, I trained at Nkomo Barracks. We were then stationed in Rutenga. I'm standing in Rutenga, where I was deployed during the War of Liberation struggle. At those years, it was compulsory to do national service, and the national service basically the colored soldiers had to serve. And it was from here in 1977 where my ministry continued, and I started preaching. I used to preach to the soldiers all along the railway line. One day the colonel said to me, "Bismark, you like to play. I know you're a church boy, play me a church song." And so he loved it. And he started crying because he was touched. So then he passed an order that every Sunday you'll catch the mail train, because the train used to arrive at Ngezi from Blair at midnight, and then used to get to Rutenga at daylight. We're now at Ngezi, where we were stationed for about 8 months, and it was from Ngezi where I was then authorized with my guitar to do Sunday services for the troops along the way, from Ngezi all the way to Saruru, and then Saruru to Rutenga. Here at Ngezi was a very significant moment and place for us. In the back, we're kind of like, in the back there is a mine called Bukwa Mine, and there's a conveyor belt that our guys were guarding as well. The conveyor belt is about 5 kilometers long. So from daylight, because it was curfew along the railway line, all passengers, when they got off the train, they had to sit by the railway line until daylight. So from Rutenga, I preached to the guys there first, 1 hour. Then from Rutenga, they drive me to Saruru, preach there. We're now in Saruru, which is probably about 30-40 kilometers from Rutenga. And it was here where we were first deployed in 1977. And it's quite refreshing in terms of preaching and how we've been preserved all those years. From my first preaching in Bohera to coming all the way from Rutenga, Saruru, and moving to other places along the railway line. Then the guys from Saruru would meet the guys from Garari halfway, and then we'd preach to Garari. At Nenga, preach to the guys there. We're now in Nenga. Of course, you've got the hills in the background, but behind us is the railway line. And at this particular place in Nenga would be a call sign where we would preach. And at this place, this is where I was able to preach to Pastor Bertram Moody. This is where his journey began. All along the railway line. And there are many, many individuals that are still serving the Lord today. People like Stanford Usher, the late Martin Bernard. They all came to the Lord in that time.
In the face of war, Brother Tudor's mission grew stronger. He preached hope, not just for liberation from oppression, but for liberation of the soul. He became a shepherd for soldiers, delivering sermons in the barracks and baptizing faith in the midst of turmoil.
I used to stand and guard by the gate there, and I used to listen to Swazi radio, There used to be a Christian radio station there, and I used to listen to Shambach, the great Shambach, Oral Roberts, and the groups like William Branham, even though he was late. And I used to sort of like minister into my own spirit from listening to those programs.
Through the noise of gunfire and the weight of fear, Tudor's voice rang out, echoing the message of resilience. His ministry became a lifeline, a source of strength that transcended the physical battles they faced.
I just did fitness training, but when I went in for military training, those instructors were so cruel. Oh, they beat us. Oh, they beat us. And some of them were colleagues that I knew from school. They were several, platoons ahead. One of them hit me with a gas pipe in my face. Yeah, they were cruel. We landed there on Valentine's Day. And so, Bismarck, do you have a girlfriend? No. Okay, this telephone pole, you, what's your name? David, you, Graham, you, Base, 4 of you, this is your fiancée. From today, for 8 weeks, you'll be running with this girl on your shoulder. Start kissing her. Say, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. Running with the telephone pole. If you drop it, press-ups, beaten, no food. It was cruel, it was hard, but it made us men. I don't regret that part because it grew us up. The Indian guys suffered because there were Indians that couldn't polish shoes. So I used to teach them how to polish shoes for $1. I'll teach you how to polish shoes, give me $1. I'll teach you how to fold your army uniforms. I'll teach you how to stitch. So I was making a bit of money on the side teaching these Indian guys. But it was very difficult for many. I saw some good guys die. A lot of deaths in our community were accidental killings. Oh, it was horrible. Don't want to think about it too much.
This is where the camp was from here, going all the way in. And the airstrip was down there. The memories or messages we preached and things that happened back then is pretty stunning.
Amidst the chaos of war, Brother Tudor Bismark discovered that true ministry often flourishes in the most unexpected places.
Yeah, but a tough time in Zimbabwe. And but for me, the number of guys that were able to reach, some are still pastors today. Yeah.
His journey in Rhodesian was not just a chapter of his life. It was a testament to the power of faith to transform hearts, even in the darkest of times.